Good morning, comrade.
Good morning, sir.
I'm delighted to welcome you here in today's political rumbles here in Corwave TV. How's the family?
Fine, thank you.
Yes, angry Nigerians want to burst state warehouse where rice palliative was stored because the hunger is biting her. Now, do you have to blame them for such? They have been blaming the government for the delay. What are they waiting to release the palliative to them?
Palliative. The word palliative, whenever I just hear that, it makes me angry. Government should not be talking about palliative at this time. They should talk of creating jobs. Because if you feed a man for a day, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for one day. But if you teach a man how to fish, you feed him forever. You don't have to be giving someone a cup of rice today. Tomorrow, the person will be hungry. Just create an avenue where the person will be fetching the water, getting money, and be feeding his family. Why don't you give me one delicate of rice? Palliative, I don't really like it. I heard that they are sharing 10,000 naira, 8,000 naira. For what? Individuals don't need it. What they need is create job opportunities, make things work. Everybody who is find his way. Sharing money, any government sharing money like this is a fair government. Yes, what people need is they need the low tariff in power supply, good roads, water supply, social amenities. Make everything available
and enabling environment for business to thrive.
Yeah, so those that want to produce can go ahead and produce. You give them loan so that Nigeria will be a producing nation, not a consuming nation.
Not a consuming nation. Now they are borrowing to consume again.
Yeah.
Under the disguise of palliative. How long will we continue this Babiala system of government or mentality?
It's a fair government. Talking about palliative, want to give somebody one delicate of rice. It's a fair government.
For a month.
How long can that sustain someone?
Let alone his family.
Do you know how many liters of petrol can 8,000 naira buy?
Honestly.
We are talking only 10 liters of petrol or even 12 liters of petrol that can sustain you for one day, 24 hours only. Because there's no light. So what people need is not really that money. People don't need those things. How long can that sustain you as a person? So it's a fair government. If they fail to produce an environment for people to produce, for business to drive, that's what people need from you. So that government has failed. That's the main.
That government has failed, and the evidence abounds with us, because you cannot give a family of two maybe daughters and mother and father 10,000 to survive. It is not even enough for 2 days.
Some people have up to 5 children, some have 3 children, some have even less. How can that sustain them?
How can that sustain them? And the unfortunate thing is that been alleged that the 10,000 or 8,000 that is being shared, so that you have to pay 1,000 before you will be enlisted among those who possibly might be beneficiary of such. And you must be, of course, politically affiliated with the powers that be before you will be considered, because I have not seen anyone around me who received the 10,000. Possibly that could be for the party in government and their loyalists.
We have been hearing it. I have not seen any beneficiary. Nobody has come up and said that I have received this, I have received this. I don't know if they are using that language to borrow money or to share money. I don't even know. But what I'm still saying is that they should not think of palliative, sharing people money, giving people money, giving people a cup of rice. Don't think about that. Empower them. You can empower them. You can outcall some people, or you come and learn one particular skill. Come and do this.
That will add to the national growth.
And our economy will be coming up. Instead of giving them a cup of rice, tomorrow they will still come. You will still see them at your gate because they need to eat tomorrow.
Honestly, we are practicing more or less, have adopted indirectly an Amajiri system of government, where a wedding man will always beg on the destitute to come around every morning to serve them cocoa. So cocoa is more or less a more modernize palliative, so to say. It's rather unfortunate.
Honestly, that is where this current government is pushing Nigerians to become beggars of bread. Every day you find yourself at their gate and you're begging for alms.
Arms.
Which is very wrong.
Well, it's something you could do yourself. You could also empower everyone around you if you're well positioned. Nigerians are resilient people, especially the youth. They are excelling even in the negative aspects when it comes to digital world, internet. Nigerians are excelling. You see people who defraud even the foreigners because they are well skilled in that profession.
We are not
If the government would invest in technology, ITC, it will drive, of course, a more viable economy and create more jobs for Nigerians.
There's no platform for all those things.
No platform.
There's no platform for all those things.
Everybody to himself.
So, like Chinese, I was opportunity to be with Chinese yesterday. I visited one of their sites where they were doing job because I have to deliver some things for them. Do you know what I saw there? The man was telling me that the Chinese government gave him a loan of 1.something billion in naira equivalent to join with his business, and he create employment, importing people from China to work for him here in Nigeria.
Imagine.
While Nigerian government are watching them, they are sucking us, sucking our economy, sucking all the wealth, and our people are jobless.
And at the end of the day, they will, whatever money they recoup, they will repatriate it to China.
Yeah.
You can imagine why our own government, political exposed persons are moving our wealth away from the country. Why Ghana, China, and other multinationals, after dealing their business here, they will repatriate their money back to their country.
China is a terrible nation. Any country they enter, they will suck the country like orange and throw away. Take for instance Italy. Italy had all the designers in the world. They produce suits, shoes, designer wears. Now China have taken over Italy. Do you know? Can you imagine that the Italians are going to Germany to seek for a job? The people that produce all these things, whenever we remember Italy, whenever we hear Italy, we remember their products.
Yes.
They produce superior products. So by China have taken over Italy. Now the economy have run down. They are here in Nigeria. One thing with China is that they will come with everything, even water they drink, they import it from China. So if not restricted, even though they are so safe, they will import them from China. So they'll suck you to the end.
Without leaving any more economic advantage to their host community.
You know, normally they will be biting you and be blowing.
Honestly, the way they treat, of course, Nigerians is unbecoming. Even the serving senator, Senator Ado, made mention of that, how Nigerian nationals have been treated overseas. And of course, one of the ministerial appointees that was doing his screening, he expressed his ordeal, how, of course, is it Tijani or Tunji or so, how he was humiliated by Chinese embassy at Chinese embassy because he was a Nigerian. Now, the level of humiliation by Nigerian citizens from these foreign nationals is unbecoming. What is the government really doing to restore the image of Nigeria, the Nigerian populace?
Let me tell you for this scenario. I was opportunity when I wanted to travel. So we queue up at the airport here. There was a queue. We are checking in. I saw one Chinese with one lady like that. They jumped the queue. They jumped the queue like this. They came to the front. I was watching the airport workers. The man called them, oh yeah, come, bring your passport, let me check. After facing humiliation in their country, they came here again to intimidate us in my own country. I said that will not happen. Then I shouted, I raised alarm. I said these people that came from here, won't stop them from killing from the back. They're supposed to join the line from the back. They jump
The queue.
everybody. They jump the queue, come to the front, and they were attending to them. I said that can never happen here. I wait for this nation. Why are we lower than the Chinese in our own country? I said, do you know what we suffer when we go over there? Because of your color, they don't like you. Anything you do is an offense in that country.
Yes, because even your government didn't like you by their actions. They didn't have any preference on Nigerians as well.
So, in order to build the image of Nigeria, we will start from economy, remove hunger, so that people will stem from crime. I know Nigerians are committing a lot of things outside there, but yet it's because of hunger. So, when you put an able environment for Nigerians to do business here, then our image will come back.
Our image will come back. The EU have, of course, made their positions to extend more sanctions on Niger State.
EU or
African Union, rather. AU, yes. What does that portend? What is that telling us in terms of what is about to unfold?
AU, African Union, they are being used by the Western world. They are being influenced by the Western world. I mean, ECOWAS and the EU at large, they are being influenced by Western world. The world new colonialism. The Russians, sorry, not the Russians, the France that colonized Niger have been sucking them for years.
Honestly,
they are the ones producing mineral resources like uranium. Uranium, what did they use uranium to do? To generate power.
And yet they don't have power.
And yet Nigeria supplied the light. They have been sucking them for years. Can you imagine where there is military intervention in Niger, and 99.9% of them say they are happy with that, and you still want to include yourself into the same country? It's very sad. Allow them to govern themselves because they are happy. Even see what I'm saying. I read in the paper this morning that the Russian mercenaries are there in Niger, and the Wagner are in Burkina Faso, Mali, and this now they are ready to fight any ECOWAS member that step into that thing to engage in a war. I support them. I give the Mali, the Niger, and Burkina Faso. I'm giving them support. If there's any military invasion, let them kill all of them. They should not allow to spare them.
Because that is an encroachment over their rights, their sovereignty.
The nation said this is what they want.
And there is no any fundamental human, abuse of fundamental human rights.
Not really that I don't really like military government. I don't like that. But based on the situation of the nation, poverty engulfed them. If you watch here like this, all the Okada riders, and if you count 3 or 4 like this, you see one Niger there or 3.
Of course.
So because of poverty, they are migrating from the nation to Nigeria. They troop into Nigeria. Why they have all the mineral resources
that would make them
enough to build a nation, to build their economy. And other countries of the world should be going to their place, but they are not enjoying anything. So the Western world have been sucking them without giving them the tons of all their things, the reason that they are taking from them.
That's the height of cruelty.
So Nigeria, AU should extend from that. They should not sanction them for any reason. Allow them to govern themselves. The only thing I'm saying that they're supposed to have a dialogue with them. And after the man said that after maybe 2 years or so, he will hand over. It's okay by them.
Of course, and the people accepted that.
Yeah.
Now, Tinubu bending at going to war. It was gathered that the militaries are on standby modes, only to receive the next order to march in. Considering the plight of the Nigerian masses, more than 3.5 or 4 million
soldiers,
internally displaced persons in Northeast alone. So, what will become of Nigeria should the war begin? Even those internally displaced persons have not been well catered for by the government.
You know, they call it ECOWAS war. the world ECOWAS being headed by Nigeria. Nigeria is the chairman. President Tinubu is the chairman of ECOWAS. So all eyes on him and Nigeria at large.
At large.
To lead the war. And if other countries, if other ECOWAS countries are bringing like 100 soldiers, Nigeria is expected to bring 2,000 soldiers. So who is going to the war? It's Nigeria.
It's Nigeria, yes.
So they are waiting for Nigeria to first of all invade Niger, so that other countries will join suit.
And Nigeria will invariably become a battleground.
Who are you going to fight? Your brothers? Now you are still to be used by the Western world to fight your brothers.
And Abdul Salami, the former head of state, have condemned such acts. He warned that any invasion of Niger State might result to another destructive experience, especially El-Rufai. All the Northerners are in unison, yes.
Niger State.
In Niger Republic. El-Rufai have condemned such move.
Are you talking about Niger?
Niger, yes. Abdul Salami have condemned such. Most prominent personalities in the north have condemned that. Then, is it only the southwest possibly are going to the war? Because they are seeing it as a war declared by the southwestern people, not even the north. Nigerians do not agree, in unison for this war.
It's not. You can't say it's the war. The war is for the West. This thing is being influenced by the Western world, like I told you. Tinubu is the head of ECOWAS. They are pushing him. They want to use him as tush to fight our own brothers. When you are fighting Niger, you are fighting the northern part of Nigeria.
Of course.
Because they are the same.
So why is he playing to the gallery?
Because
is he not understanding the handwriting on the wall?
He is doing that. If you read the mind of Tinubu's mind, you will find out that he doesn't like the war. But because of his position, they are pushing him here and there. Go declare war, go to war, go and fight, go and do this. At the start of Abubakar, they sent him whether as an envoy or what. This is his second trip to Niger to dialogue with them. He has been shouting. I read what his statement in the paper now. He has been shouting and shouting and shouting. Let's dialogue with these people. Let's have dialogue with these people. Because I know that African nations that want to, even the Russians are ready for the war. So they have other external assistants.
They are backing them.
So it's not what you expected that will happen in that war. You will see otherwise.
And Nigeria have not experienced any external aggression.
Nigeria have never experienced any external
even the internal the war between Biafra and Nigeria has not been recovered anytime soon, let alone full external aggression.
That is a civil war. It's not a external war. Nigeria have never experienced any external war. We have never fight with any country before. So let not this little dispute, this little issue generate that. It's not enough.
It's not enough because we are not affected economically. The interests of Nigerians are not betrayed because it's about Niger and Nigerians who have decided that they are happy with the system and that will check the excesses of the executive, which unfortunately we are experiencing in this country, where palliatives is being hoarded and people are hungry and haggard. And the anger is building up. Don't you think it will escalate to something that is not imagined
do you know
in
that
Nigeria?
There is I don't pray for revolution, but if he come up, he's welcome. People have been waiting for court to make their declaration and decide who won the presidential election. That is what Nigerians are waiting for. Everybody is waiting to hear the final judgment on the Nigerian presidential election. So, and court, I don't know if they are reluctant to declare. They have not given us the date. They have not tell us, look at the day we will pass the final judgment. Or
possibly will they declare it maybe when Nigerians are asleep?
That's their manner.
The same way Mahmoud did.
Yes, they declare a president by 3 a.m. And is it what they want to do? They wake up around 2 a.m. and declare that so-so person is a winner. Or are they buying time so that the Nigerians' mind would have come down before they declare? I don't really understand.
The more they delay, the more the anger builds up.
And they gave them this month
to make the announcement.
Yeah, to summarize everything about that issue.
Presidential Tribunal.
Yes. So they're supposed to give us the final judgment on the Nigerian presidential election. That is what Nigeria have been waiting for. Imagine, we are not practicing even democracy. Some people came up in Abuja and said that all eyes on judiciary. You went and be arresting them one after the other. For what? Are you practicing democracy or anarchy? What system of government are you practice? People are not free to express their mind. You cannot say, you are not free to say anything. So if you can come up and say your mind that you'll be arrested, it's not a democratic government.
It's not a democratic government. Then, well, time will reveal what that is as we continue to wait. But Nigerians are more eager to see that justice is served. And if that is not done, well, possibly nobody knows where that can take us. It's been an exciting moment having you this morning, comrade. Thank you for your wonderful submissions.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
We do appreciate